Hey guys, midweek recap. So Monday we had bench press. Worked up to 2x2 at 150 kilos with pause. Felt a little bit off, just felt tired, not 100%. I think it's just getting back into the sort of swing of things still. It's just taking a bit out of me after the surgery about 10, 11 weeks ago. So I'm just taking it slow, step by step. After that, got my groove back on the drop sets where I did 3x5, 130 kilos pause, which moved really easy. And then went into my accessory compound, which was dumbbell press. So what I was doing was called 1.5 reps. You go down, you come up to a halfway point, back down and into a full rep, and that is 1 rep. Now, I did about 4 sets of 8 on 40, and then my last set I failed at about 6, I think it was. So overall, I was really happy. Ended up doing another set of 6 afterwards because I thought I had a bit more energy and I could go again, but I didn't manage to get it. After this, I did some lat pull down, some rows, triceps, some core, just to sort of finish off the session. Now, I will be slowly ramping the numbers up as it feels better. I did a session today and my shoulders were a lot better than they were Monday. Pressing was really good, so next week's bench should feel a lot more comfortable, but doesn't mean I'm going to rush it back into it, as I do have to get my form and technique back to feeling comfortable and where it was before I had surgery. So there is little steps that I will be taking. Most of it will just be getting back into that rhythm. Overall, I am happy with the starting point because it is a lot higher than where I thought I was going to be for this period. Now, I thought by the end of this block, I'd probably be breaking maybe 165 for bench and possibly like a 300 kilo deadlift. Now, I started this block off at a 305 already. Anyway, for squats, I have just been doing sleeved and belt lifts. I worked up to 140 kilos, 4 sets of 2. Now, this was to strengthen my core and get it comfortable again, as I didn't want to overexert it too quickly, as this has been the most uncomfortable movement for my surgery sites. After this, I dropped down to, I did 3 sets of 4 at 120 kilos. These all move really easy, so I can take a bit bigger jump next week quite comfortably. Now, eventually, once I get a bit heavier, I will be starting to chuck on at least knee sleeves again and a belt. I will be putting belt on for a set here and there just to get used to it, just how it sits and find where it feels comfortable after having surgery, because things have changed in my stomach area. I then did lunges, 30 kilos for about 15 meters up and back. Now, I didn't film that just because I was dying. I was doing short rests and my quads and glutes hated me after that. Then went into V squats. Now, with the V squats, I was I was quite fatigued by this point, so I just did 130 kilos roughly on it. And it was just nothing crazy, just sort of moving through that, feeling the motion at the bottom of the rep and just finding where my feet felt comfortable to get that full extension. After this, some leg extension. I did 2 sets of hamstring curls. Didn't want to overdo it because I had deadlifts today. And then went on 2 calf raises, some hip exercises, and then once again a little bit of core to finish off, and then stretches, as you can see here. Doing these to help with my hip flexibility and mobility and help with my knees and quad tightness. Just because I've had knee surgery before, I want to make sure that I keep up on that as well. So I do these, they're sort of like a split squat, but I'm using it as a stretching portion for the back leg, allowing my body weight to sit back rather than doing something like a behind the leg hold or something like that. In that sense, because I find those, I don't get as good a stretch and I'm not able to pull in as tight as possible, where this allows me to sort of relax back into the stretch and slowly load that stretch up into the position that I find most beneficial for my mobility and cool down. Now, with this, I then did some hip opening exercises. I did some abductor and adductor work. Now, reason why I do this after a session is for example, like today I have deadlifts. I don't want to be too tight for the hips. And I've always found this is sort of the best movement I've found for opening up my hips a bit more. As I said, once again, it allows me to sink my body into it and allows me to sort of mimic a motion of how my knees will be pointing outwards for a squat. And this will allow me to situate better.